Welcome to the special News9 discussion. Have you invested in any gold saving schemes with your jeweler? If you have, then do you want to know how to save your investment and buy gold in future and invest in gold in future? You can talk to our experts. We have an elite panel. Call us on 080-2236-0303 or 04. You can also text us at 9980945138. First up, we have Mr. Manjunath, who's the director of Scheme Central, which is an online site for buying gold and all gold transactions. On to his left, we have Rudramurthy, another investment expert. He'll tell you on how to invest in gold after this scheme has become illegal. On to his left, we have Mr. T.A. Sharavana, the president of Bangalore Jewellers Association. On to his left, we have Mr. Rudramurthy, Ravindranath Guru from the Consumer Care Society. On to his left, we have Shamsundar, a well-known legal expert from the city. Well, I'll come to you first, Mr. Manjunath. Just tell us, what is this entire legality? How was the law changed and how is it affecting the entire scheme?
Okay, so frankly speaking, Indians have the habit of accumulating gold, over small installments. This has been practiced both in the formal channels, largely, for example, through companies like Tanishq, and also a lot in the informal channels, which is the unorganized sector. Practically almost every jeweler or retailer actually offers such, installment-based purchases. And largely it has been deemed as advance towards a purchase. Okay. However, with regards to the New Companies Act, I think there is a certain, law that kind of has taken place through the Ministry of Corporate Affairs, which still kind of, how it's going to be dispensed is not sure. But as per that, they have said that one, the tenure of the schemes has to be restricted to 365 days. Fundamentally, otherwise they'll be deemed as a deposit. But as long as it's restricted to 365 days, fundamentally it is going to be an advance towards the purchase. Okay, and it's applicable not just for jewelry, because Ministry of Corporate Affairs fundamentally dictates this across the board for almost all companies operating in whichever industry. So that is one change that has been drafted in. However, that has come through the Ministry of Corporate Affairs, so we are still not sure what happens to non-public and private limited companies, which is all the proprietorships, partnerships, the HUF funds, the trusts. How do they kind of operate in this environment? So that is still something that is kind of not clear. Of course, the big jewelers, taking into consideration that they have to comply, especially starting with Titan and Tanishq, they've gone ahead and restructured it, so that they can immediately comply at least to the Ministry of Corporate Affairs notification and regulations. So as this pans out, certainly there's going to be some amount of compliance that the way the jewelers were operating needs to be kind of brought in. And I'm pretty sure from the industry's perspective, if I speak, I think the fundamental nature that yes, you can still make advances towards your purchase within 365 days has been validated even by the largest regulatory bodies of India. So they can still go ahead and make those payments. However, how it will be dispensed, how it will be operated in a new scenario has to be relooked at.
Well, just to put it in layman's term, there are three major changes. One, the kind of return that these schemes can give have been capped for 12%. The second major one is that it has told, or it has instructed these companies that you cannot collect more than 25% of your net worth. That's the second one. And the third one is about the tenure, stating that it can't exceed 365 days. These are some of the changes that have been brought. Well, welcome back to the special discussion on investment in gold and how the new law which has been changed is affecting your investment. Go to Mr. Ravindranath Guru quickly, Mr. Manjunath.
Yeah, see, frankly speaking, we have to extend this conversation a little broader, because the 1.2 billion population of India, the number of people who frankly just have access to banking is just 300 million, right? Now there is a huge 70 to 80% of people, like the experts in the panel actually spoke about.
Well, if you're talking about alternatives, we'll come up.
I'll just quickly highlight that point. Okay, so what happens is when you just look at it from the perspective of those 300 million who have bank accounts, and when we all know clearly that a lot of people who go and save in gold are people who don't have access to formal banking,
physical gold,
right? Physical gold, right? Because they don't have access to banking, and India is struggling hard to get the financial inclusion in place, right? Now, instead of buying gold either via credit card or taking a loan, if I, as a genuine gold jewelry buyer, if I intend to put my savings in a particular retailer that I know, and I go and make that against as a advance to purchase, and he immediately remits 1 gram or a 1.5 gram, etc. to my account, I just want to extend to this panel, what is wrong in it?
Yes.
And and the fact of the matter is, in the new company guidelines also, that's why they clearly said advance towards purchases is completely okay. Make sure that it's there within 365 days.
Yes. That there are few more points related to this. I'll come to it. Before that, we'll go to Ravindranath Guru. For a long time now, there was.
ನಿಮ್ಗೆ ಹೇಳ್ತಾ ಇರೋದು ಏನಂದ್ರೆ ಈಗ ಏನು ಸ್ವಲ್ಪ ಕನ್ಫ್ಯೂಷನ್ ಗಳಿದೆ. 1 ವರ್ಷ ಒಳಗಡೆ ಕ್ಲಿಯರ್ ಮಾಡ್ಕೋಬೇಕು ಅಂತ ಇದೆ. 12 months ಒಳಗಡೆ ಮತ್ತೆ ಬ್ಯಾಂಕ್ ಇಂಟ್ರೆಸ್ಟ್ ಗಿಂತ ಮೇಲೆ ಹೋಗಬಾರದು ಅನ್ನೋದು ಒಂದು ಇದೆ. ಮತ್ತೆ ಯಾರು ಜ್ಯುವೆಲ್ಲರಿ ಇದಾರೋ ಅವರ ಒಂದು ಇನ್ವೆಸ್ಟ್ಮೆಂಟ್ ನೆಟ್ ಇನ್ವೆಸ್ಟ್ಮೆಂಟ್ ಏನಿದೆ ಅದರಲ್ಲಿ 25% ವರೆಗೂ ಡೆಪಾಸಿಟ್ ಮಾಡ್ಕೋಬೇಕು ಅನ್ನೋದನ್ನ ಒಂದು ಸ್ಕೀಮ್ ನ ತಂದಿದ್ದಾರೆ ಆಲ್ರೆಡಿ. ಇದ್ರ ಬಗ್ಗೆ ಕೆಲವು ಗೊಂದಲಗಳು ಇದೆ. ಇದಕ್ಕೋಸ್ಕರನೇ ನಾವು ಈಗ ಲೀಗಲ್ ಎಕ್ಸ್ಪೋರ್ಟ್ ಜೊತೆಯಲ್ಲಿ ಚರ್ಚೆ ಮಾಡಿ ಇದಕ್ಕೊಂದು ತೀರ್ಮಾನಕ್ಕೆ ಬರ್ತೀವಿ. ಕರ್ನಾಟಕ ಜ್ಯುವೆಲ್ಲರಿ ಅಸೋಸಿಯೇಷನ್ ವತಿಯಿಂದ ಒಂದು ಸೆಮಿನಾರ್ನ ಕರೆದು ಮತ್ತೆ ಕಸ್ಟಮರ್ಗಳಿಗೆ ಮತ್ತೆ ಈ ತರ ಮಧ್ಯಮ ವರ್ಗದವರಿಗೆ ನಿಮ್ಮಂತ ಇನ್ವೆಸ್ಟರ್ಗಳಿಗೆ ಯಾವ ತರ ನಾವು ಸಲಹೆಯನ್ನು ಕೊಡಬಹುದು, ಯಾವ ತರ ಸ್ಕೀಮ್ ಅನ್ನ ಮಾಡಬಹುದು ಅನ್ನೋದು ಒಂದು ವಿಚಾರವನ್ನ ಇಟ್ಕೊಂಡು ಈ ಒಂದು ತಿಳುವಳಿಕೆಯನ್ನ ನಿಮ್ಗೆಲ್ಲ ಕೂಡ ಕೊಡ್ತೀವಿ ಸರ್.
Well, thanks a lot, Amrit, for joining us.
Now,
yes, Mr.
I like to address the two views. My friend on the extreme left, extreme right of mine, he was posing a question. The formal banking has not yet reached the entire population of the country, and till today there is more number of people who have been in conventional savings. And he also said that what if somebody who is at a lower strata, a middle class strata, wants to buy some gold, and he has a faithful jeweler of his own, a retailer of his own, and he goes there, deposits his money and takes his gold. What's wrong in it? This is number one. Number two, my friend Mr. Sharavana was telling that he was rather noble in saying that see these are the schemes that are aimed at below poverty line and rather middle class people who think the only savings could be in gold, not in real estate, not in any other properties. Now it is this. Now answering my learned friend that what is wrong in having a conventional way of saving. Now see, when a person comes, see, you are actually doing an act. My friend Mr. Rudramurthy was telling, see, you cannot have excuses to law. Now you are expected to follow law. You have to do it. You cannot say that what is wrong in me doing it. Now where are the customers going to go and cry? If it is a bank, if it is a savings in the bank, their deposits are protected. Now my learned friend Mr. Sharavana was saying that it is a noble plan. No doubt it is a noble plan. No doubt you are just giving some jewels to a person who can certainly suddenly at one stretch go and buy. But at the end of the day, there are a lot of concerns. How many noble people in the market do we see like Mr. Sharavana? Not everyone are Mr. Sharavana. Not everyone are Titan, who would be a corporate entity with lot of net worth to protect the interests of the investors tomorrow if there is a rough weather. No. I particularly mentioned that there are any number of gold merchants who have delivered most substandard ornaments to their customers, and they are the quality of customers who have very less resources to go and check the quality, who have very less resources to fight for their right. If they have paid 100 rupees to fight for the 100 rupees worth, these are the kinds of people. These are
but
the
at the same
people.
At the same juncture, my question, I'll come to you. This is for the entire panel. If someone is ready to give me about 12%, why shouldn't I be, allowed to take it under the law.
The one who is handling the business of taking, accepting and giving 12% should be worth enough to do that tomorrow.
So you should,
that is the reason now the latest law says now you can do it to an extent of 25% of your net worth, so that even if you are bankrupt of all the deposits to the level of 25%, we can recover it from your 75%.
My simple question.
There has to be a level playing field. See, 12%, more than 12%, because see, in the today's society is offering more interest. They attract more consumers, and thereby they are being cheated later. So there is a level they are restricted, because even if you invest in the bank, you will not get more than 12%, and consumers are they will not be tempted.
Yes, my question is, if Mr. Saravana is ready to give me 13%, at the same time keep 25 crores as safety deposit with RBI or some other regulatory body, then what's wrong with that?
And one more thing, end of the day, the choice of the customer. Now, as Mr. Rudramurthy said, if you are accepting deposits, hire purchase and installment scheme has been valid all along. Now this is not hire purchase. This is not you're buying Mr. Saravana is delivering me the ornament first and later taking money from me. This is taking the entire money from me for over a stretch of period, and at the end of the period you are delivering something to me. This is something which is
two simple points.
1 gram gold is around 3,000 rupees. If they are paying 500 rupees, 1,000 rupees, 2,000 rupees, maybe 3,000, 10,000, they never get any piece of ornaments. At least they must take earrings or finger rings, whatever that is, minimum it will worth around 12,000 rupees, 15,000 rupees. At least if they are paying around 11 months, within 12 months, 500 rupees or 1,000 rupees, so and so, around 12,000 rupees will come. 12,000 rupees means around 4 grams they can purchase.
I just want to quickly jump in. The truth of the matter as it stands is, they've clearly said yes, advance towards purchases is allowed. Okay. One, fundamentally because they know the financial access is not reached to the people. So like you said, if somebody wants to go and actually avail some kind of from an investment perspective, in India gold buyers are actually dual natured.
Yes.
They first want the ornamental value, and investment comes as a add-on if it does come. Okay, and you can vouch for it from many jewelers. Okay. The very aspect that gold is probably an appreciating asset is something that kind of actually first attracts, and also given the fact that they can kind of wear it, that's where they're going. Nobody with the first intent to actually think about the interest is going to any of these retailers. If they do, they will actually go for, there are chit fund schemes and financial schemes and all the other schemes. Okay. Now let's look at
for
the gold, right? And that's why
shopkeepers benefit,
and that's why
the
gold.
People who want to buy gold.
Exactly, very focused, right? So now I'm asking the simple question: if I actually have a focused need, many times I also have a savings account. Okay, I'm one of those elite guys who probably has access to banking channels, right? If I put all my money in my savings account, hoping that tomorrow, yes, I'll buy 30% of it in jewelry, 30% of it in education, and probably 40% I'll figure out something else for my needs. What happens is, if there's an emergency, even I cannot manage those finances, and it quickly kind of like my father kind of gets admitted to the hospital. I use up all those savings, right? So if there has to be a dedicated channel, right? And if everybody goes, and I'm not even bringing just jewelers, okay? If I go to a real estate guy and park 20% of my money, if I go to a jeweler and park 25% of my money, and if I go to some other retailer and park my money, and it's very focused, and I know that it's going for the right intended goal, what is wrong?
Mr. Harish,
let me intervene 1 minute, 1 second. My question is to Mr. Saravana and my learned friend. If you are doing a noble business of no profit for the jeweler, just with an intention to give some goodies to the customer, why are you announcing prizes? Why are you announcing lotteries? You are telling
no lotteries.
Invest,
who are doing
you
lotteries?
get a Maruti car.
No lottery, never, not at all.
I want to jump.
No lottery.
I want to jump. One point.
We are already every month we are crediting the gold weight.
Just one point.
There is no amount also.
Just one point. All loyalty schemes. Any purchase you do, you get all loyalty schemes. But what are they? Aren't they actually bonuses that are?
Well, we were discussing this entire point of whether all jewelry outlets are out there to cheat, or only a few black sheeps in the industry.
See, wherever it is real is there, unreal also will be there.
Yes.
You have to find out that where is the mistake is going on.
Yeah,
Let them
both
punish.
aspects.
No, and bad apples will be there in almost all stratas of the society, and it's not that we should not ignore the bad apples. We have
but
to have
wha-
safety
wha-
guards, right? However, my fundamental question still lies with the aspect of if common people have aspirations today, and not from an investment angle. See, everybody is trying to make this just an investment versus banking versus the investment stuff, right? Gold today is still consumed fundamentally for ornamental value, and about 700 to 750 tons of gold gets consumed for the ornamental value. Of course, if it has a natural appreciation factor and people are coming to it, that's just an added bonus, right? So if we actually look at gold as any other retail ornamental purchase, where is the issue with the banking sector getting its share of pie, or in the way it is kind of dealing with or whatever, and versus all retailers, and I'm not even limiting it to just jewelry, all retailers today, you know, whether it's real estate retail, whether it is durables retail, whether it's travel retail, all the online wallets that people have known, or the mobile wallet, what do they do? They allow you to top up the wallet and whenever you want, and from then you can buy whatever good you want. Why is that so different than a scheme where you actually kind of pay as much as you want whenever you want and then take a good?
In fact,
Somebody-
the entire
I mean,
real
somebody
estate
unlike-
is working
Let
like
Mr.
that.
Exactly. Somebody
Saravana
unlike-
clarify as one
Here.
thing. Let Mr. Saravana clarify as one thing in the presence of my learned friend, Mr. Rudramurthy, who is an expert on this matter, and my learned friend who is on my extreme right. Let them clarify if they are accepting this kind of deposits. If they are accepting this kind of deposits, the depositor who would get his gold after the end of the scheme, he must obviously get that worth of gold for lesser price than what a walk-in customer should get it for, because you are sitting on his money. The money is productive for all along.
There is no question of rate. Already weight will be there. Same weight we are going to give the ornaments.
See,
No, but that is
fact,
very
this is
hard.
where I
One
find
minute
fault
to,
with.
Yes. Okay. In
Rather
fact-
than fighting here,
in fact, we
I
are-
just have a point here to mention. Very simple. You can't say if someone is giving 15%, 18% to why are we stopping or something. Ignorance of law is not an excuse.
Exactly,
One
yes.
simplest point. You can't say I will go against the law. Why are we there in the country? Why is constitution? Why is democracy? Now let us not. That is one simple point. The other part, if you keep saying 15%, 18%, whatever interest rate, let them give. Tomorrow, if people get cheated, is my friend to the right, will he be responsible? Let him say any cheating which happens from tomorrow,
as
we
easy
will
as
pay.
that.
We
Yes.
will pay.
We are
And
about
we are
stopping
taking
something
care. If
before
they are
something
taking
goes wrong.
responsibility,
Okay,
we have no problem.
I'll give the final say
Yeah.
to Mr. Ravindranath Guru. What do you
See,
think should happen?
No, see, government, see, what Mr. Saravana is telling is of who are the members of their jewelry association. But a Chincholi in Belgaum district, a jeweler in the local, he may not be member, he will not have control. So there, locally, if they are offering, and in Bangalore, Tanishkar, BIS, yeah, jeweler. See, common man today is suffering. He says ignorance of law. Yes, but common man, what does he know about the law? He is worried about his future investment in gold, which he considers more practicable because daily earning.
Only
So,
thing is,
yes, then
we are
the
speaking
government
about
should
the
think
higher
only,
way.
instead of
Richer
amending only
peoples.
Companies Act.
Yes, that's the
They
big question over here. Is this amendment is only targeting huge corporate
Yes.
companies?
Yes.
Isn't governments? It's a
Absolutely.
duty of the government to make sure that
Yeah.
everyone, each and every small store owner
yes.
is also accountable for their consumers. Well, unfortunately, we'll have to cut short this discussion. On the other side of this very short break, you have news and updates.